and only Naima Robert. I want to make sure I don't put that S in there because, a lot of times during this process, it was Robert. Everyone, thank you for being here. We're going to have a conversation. And as I was sharing with her earlier, this is not just an interview to show, how Women Speaking Grow Rich just came in and just really helped me and Dr. Sonia and all that. But I really want folks to share their story of how they got here and the transformation and the shifts that took place. And so for all of you that are listening now and you're in a place where you have a story to share, but not just a story that transforms the lives of others, and really being able to help solve problems for other people out there. So it's not just you sharing a story, it's you being a coach, a thought leader, and you really want to get more clients, but quality, not just quantity, quality. But that being said, I want you all to say hello to Naima Robert, all the way from London. Hello, sweetie. How are you doing today?
I am very well. Thank you, Dr. Sonia. How are you today?
I am good. I'm excited for the world to really know even the more about you. So just kind of tell us a little bit about who you are and where you're located and things like that.
Okay, well, I actually live, a lot of people think UK is only London. I actually live up north, unfortunately, about 3.5 hours drive from London.
Wow.
So I go to London a lot. But okay. I was born in Leeds, near where I live now, and I grew up in Zimbabwe. So I consider myself a Zimbabwean because I was in Zimbabwe, was educated there until the age of 18, when I left to go to university, to come back to the UK for university. And I came and I was at university, and I think I became Muslim, I think in my second year of university. Okay. So I wasn't always a Muslim. And things moved really fast after that, I think. So I became Muslim, then I graduated and I met my husband and I had my first baby and I started writing books. And kind of the books kind of spiraled into something really amazing, into where we are today, where we are telling stories, we're helping other women tell their stories, and becoming also a collector of stories. So it's very much full circle. So.
Wow, awesome. So share with us, how did you get into even more so of becoming I would say, an author, but not just you being an author, you having this desire to help other women become an author as well?
See, the interesting thing for me was that my writing journey was so abnormal. Because many writers spend years and years and years working on manuscripts and getting rejection after rejection after rejection. It's like a normal part of your passage. It's like a rite of passage. And what happened with me was that my inspiration was that my son and I, my eldest, used to go to the library every week, take out a ton of books. And while we loved the books, it started to bother me that I didn't see my son's heritage reflected in any of the books that we were reading, okay?
Wow.
And that started to weigh on me after a while, because I thought, I want him to be proud of who he is, as a Black boy, a boy of color, of African descent, Muslim, living in the UK. I really wanted him to be able to identify with some of the books we were getting, and that wasn't happening. So that's like 20 years ago. Wow. There were hardly any books with characters of color. And certainly books about Muslims, the only thing was like, what is Islam? So I started writing from that viewpoint, from that vantage point. And I was just blessed to meet editors who got it, who believed that we needed diversity, that we needed representation. And so I started writing those books for children. And it was through that I met the woman who ended up being my agent and allowed me to tell my story. And if you don't mind me just sharing this with you and with the viewers, I became a Muslim and I started dressing differently. First I wore a scarf, and then I wore like larger clothes, and then I started to wear the niqab, which is what this is called. And being a Muslim minority in, obviously England's not my country, I didn't grow up here. Being a young mother, being at home, I really felt like I had lost my voice. When I was growing up, anyone you ask from my high school days, I was the head girl. I was a public speaking champion.
I can see that.
I was a singer. I was everything, jazz hands, So, I was like all over the show, and people really thought, wow, my name is Tando. I'll share that with you. Actually, my birth name and my real name is Tando. And Tando means love in the Zulu language.
Mm.
And so everyone was like, Tanda, she's going places. She is going to be big things.
Yeah.
And so I find myself, I'm 22, I have a young child, I'm married, I'm at home. When I go out, people look at me strangely, you know, everyone's making assumptions about me. And I really felt like, is this all there is? You know, am I really kind of closing myself off in this way? Does this mean that this is my life?
Yeah.
Well, I loved my child and my husband. Because I had grown up, everyone saying I was going to be a star, I found it hard to reconcile. And of course, all my family thought, oh, she's done. You know, she's Muslim, she wearing that stuff, she's back, she got a baby, it's over, right? And
Right.
over. And so being given the chance to tell my story and to really honor my journey and the journey of other women like me who had embraced Islam was such a huge honor for me, because we were able to contribute to the narrative, you know, and actually put our story out there in a way that we could recognize. And so, in answer to your question, for anyone out there who has a story, I believe everyone has a story.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I also believe that there are people out there who need to hear your story. They may not need to hear my story. They may not even need to hear Dr. Sonia's story, but maybe they need to hear Annabelle's story or Keisha's story or whoever else's story. And so getting women to a place where firstly, they recognize that they have a story to tell. And secondly, supporting them to write the story in the best way, in a way that makes sense, that's going to make the impact it should make, and is going to be something that they can stand proudly by, is a huge passion for me and my team.
Well, think about it like this, Naima. When you first got started, you know, a lot, and I hear this all the time when I have, you know, sessions, consults and breakthrough sessions with people, and they're like, well, I don't really know if I have a story. Talk to us about the moment you felt like, maybe nobody's gonna listen. Oh my gosh, you know, when my family said I'm this. And even before you get to that, I remember the first time first you were in my inbox. You're like, hello, oh my gosh. And I was like, oh, okay, I've seen her somewhere before. And I don't know where. It was just, you know, following on social media. And then we met up at an event. And then, you know, shortly after that, you enrolled into Women Speaking Grow Rich. But I remember that feeling, hearing you say, you didn't say the exact words, but I could hear it come from your soul of, but what if nobody listens to me? So first take us to the place in the moment where you felt like, well, maybe I don't have a story, but you knew you did, but maybe nobody's going to listen. Well, maybe they will. So talk to us about that.
Whew, I actually, I get emotional thinking about that, because I know that from the first time that we connected, and I remember I saw you on a video, and then I was like, oh my God. So then when I contacted you, and from the first time that we made contact, it was like you read me. You know, we were just typing, and I mentioned something about, oh, I'm not going to do this right now. And it went quiet, and then those dots appeared. You know, when someone's typing, and it's like typing. And I was like, oh no, it's coming. Oh my goodness. And then you kind of like called me out, and you kind of, you know, pulled me up, and I had to kind of say, okay, all right, this lady's serious. She means business. But I think when we connected at that event, I think the biggest fear I had, and what I expressed to you, was that I know I can speak to my people, and I can communicate with and connect with women who look like me. But I don't know whether I can do it on a larger stage, you know, with people who don't look anything like me, you know, who are not my people. And I think you telling me that you definitely can, because we were talking about dominating in sort of like Muslim communities and Muslim countries, and you were like, yes, that is a part of the strategy, but there is no reason why you can't dominate other areas as well, because you have the specific skill set of writing, etc. And I think hearing that from you, and also having it constantly affirmed by you, and then it being affirmed by my experiences, I think it's just going to blow everything wide open for 2020, because I'm not thinking just one audience anymore. I'm just like Yeah, I'm ready for the world. Come,
For sure.
bring it.
For sure, for sure. And the reason, I say that, and even not just for you, Naima, it's just the fact of we as women have these limited beliefs. And I had one too. You remember, I share all the time with the women. I felt like I could not serve women who did not look like me. Why? I have no idea. It was, oh, am I smart enough? Or is it going to be a whole thing of, she doesn't know what she's talking about? And I had to really come to grips with, no, you can serve not everybody, but I can serve the women that I'm supposed to be working with. I don't care if they're blue, purple, red. If they bleed red blood, we can do this, because I know all too well. I mean, just us as women, we put these limited beliefs on ourselves that I probably can't do this and I can't do that. And our own thoughts. And there's some woman, and we shared this, somewhere out there waiting for us just to step on a stage or a platform and hear us say, Naima, it's okay. I know you just want to work with your people or the Muslim community. Hey, let's go ahead and dominate that market as well. But there's some women who don't care if you're covered and we can see your beautiful brown eyes. We don't care. I just want to know, can you help me? Can you help me? And I'll be honest, be very, very transparent. I've had to grow along the way, Naima, because I think years ago, coming from the Christian community, I only wanted to work with faith-based, in this thinking faith is just Christianity. And I quickly learned, and I know from my spiritual belief, I know that I was called to the nations. The nations is not always one collective group of people. There's a variety of women that I started to feel that needed my help. So I had to step outside of my comfort zone and I had to take the limits off. So by the time you came, it was like, girl, what? I see you, right? I see you. I see the skill set. I see the brilliance. I see the amazingness. So it was just like, okay, now I understand. We're all called to stand in the gap for the women and whomever we were called to serve. And so I was able to look beyond that. I'm like, what's she talking about? I don't even see what she sees. And so when you came into Women Speaking Grow Rich, they were like, hey, Naima, la, 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 la. No one even said like, okay, what is going on here? And I believe the women that, or other people that do that, they're still in lack, and it's called lack of maturity to know that they're.
The amazing thing is, I remember one of the ladies from the program actually spoke to me, and she came up and she said, from two programs, it's happened twice, where they said to me, when I first saw you, I was bothered. I'm not going to lie, like it made me feel some kind of way. Okay. And I loved them through it, because at the end of the day, I know it's nothing to do with me. That is a reflection of what's going on in your head. So when you see me, something's getting triggered, whether it's a memory, whether it's something you read, whether it's something you watched, or just a belief that you have is being triggered. And so let's help you do the work. Let me help you do your work, as I always say. I'm here to help you do your work. So if you have some limiting beliefs about people who don't look like you, maybe you and I need to talk, because I can help you to do your work. It has very little to do with me and everything to do with what is going on in your head. So it would be great to be able to, challenge some stereotypes and just open people up to considering, oh, okay, so I thought this previously, and now that I've listened to the speaker or I've connected with her, I have a completely new paradigm. I have had a paradigm shift. That, for me, all day long.
Yes. And this is what's needed. Is I call all of the women, honestly, that I connect with and I coach and train, we're disruptors.
Yes.
we're disruptors all day, because I know if I'm coming to this platform of disrupting things of how it's done. And, I hear all the time, you got this masculine and feminine energy coming together. How do you do that? And I'm looking at them like, what? This is just me walking in my amazingness of what I was given, but it took me a minute to get there. And so let's kind of move forward in Naima in the fact of when you had the thought of, maybe I can use platforms to even be even more amazing and to get more of the clients, and being in the room and sharing my story. What was that thought process for you when this was brought to the forefront of, okay, hey, what's next for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was a game changer, really, because as you know, I've been speaking for many, many years, ever since high school. And, I've always enjoyed it. It's like my happy place. I am so comfortable on a stage. Like my friends used to say to me, like, don't you get nervous? I said, no, I don't. If I feel any kind of way, and it's like a butterfly type of feeling, it's excitement. That's, for me, it's excitement. That's what I want to get out there. I want to be there doing my thing, talking, going with the flow. That's where I want to be. So when you broke down what your process is, and I guess what your strategy is for not just speaking on a stage, not just earning money from speaking engagements, but actually inviting people to go on a journey with you, and they becoming your clients and working with you, it was a game changer. And it's actually something that has like settled in my subconscious. It's actually now one of my beliefs that if you speak and you do not offer anything else, no service, no product, no coaching, no consulting, no communication after your talk, you've actually done the audience a huge disservice. Because in 45 minutes, can I change your life? Probably not. Can I light a spark? Yes. But that spark needs to actually catch something. It needs to catch fire. It needs to have some kindling or something going on, and it needs to be fanned, and it needs to be directed. So for me, I feel it's unethical for me to do a talk and then say, okay, everyone, I know that I've blown your minds. I know that I've opened your eyes to all the possibilities, but that's it for me. See ya. I'll see you on social media.
Toodles. Yeah,
toodles. Exactly. I'll leave you to your life. No. Now go back to your life. Go back to your life.
It really is. Naima, it's a game changer, because, I like you, and I share this probably on every interview. It's just being on a platform and someone walks up to you afterward. And I know many women, that are like, oh, I'm just starting, I'm nervous. We'll talk about that. But for those that are like, I've been in this game, I know that I need to be on a platform, whether it's on a stage or somebody's podcast or something, and sharing my brilliance. And the fact when I'm done, people are all up in my inbox. Folks are following you after the stage. You're going wherever you're like I was. Just total ignorance about what are y'all doing here. I just delivered the best 45-minute presentation ever, hands
what
down.
What do you want from me?
You should be laid out. You should be laid out somewhere. And what I quickly realized, the more I didn't offer anything, and I know here a lot of people, oh, go buy my book. Okay, that's great. A lot of folks write books and they think it's going to help them.
It's still sending people home, back to your life.
Yes, and some are like, I need more of you, Naima. Can I get more? What do you have? And when you can stand in your power, it's like, yes, I'm such, and I have this and I have that. And if you're really serious about X, Y, and Z, I can help you do that. That just changed my entire life. And when I learned, and the thing about it is you don't get a lot of women that do it. We won't offer, we won't sell, we won't do anything. And we barely will get on a stage. So, I was truly honored when you're like, Dr. Sonia, let's do it. Let's do it. And then to hear some of your wins that you have shared with us have blown people away. And I get so tickled sometimes, like, I don't have a win, I don't have anything. Like Naima, I'm like, come on, she had to start some, and we all started in that place of, can I really do this?
Yeah.
Can I? And so kind of share with us that first moment that you had the opportunity to share from stage and giving people the opportunity to work with you and take them on a journey.
Wow. As soon as we spoke and I signed up and we were doing the work, I had an invitation for a very big event. Now, because of the program, I knew what questions to ask. I knew how to negotiate, because when I was invited in initially, it was to recite a poem. And I was like, no, I'm a keynote. I'm not a poet. Okay.
Yeah.
So at the end, I ended up doing a keynote. I ended up being the host, and I did the fundraising. And we raised like $40,000, $50,000 from the fundraising that blew away their expectations. And I was so pleased. And then I got to make an offer. And I had been preparing for this, making an offer. So I had all the things on the checklist. I had my banner, I had my forms, I had my gift certificate, I had everything. I still have everything. So now I'm 100% prepared. Yes. My daughters know how to answer the questions. They know how to take money for the books. They know how to get people to sign the forms.
You're training your family too.
Totally. My daughter, I said to her, like, she's only 10, 11 now. Yeah. I said, in a couple of years, you will be running the sales. You will be running the table. She was like, yeah, of course. Like, I know what I'm doing. So just to be able to invite people to come on a journey with you is I think for many women, being on stage is enough of a stretch. You know, when there's the comfort zone, there's your edge, then there's the stretch zone, right?
Yeah.
I think for many women, even being on stage is enough of a little stretch for them. But it's kind of comfortable because, especially if it goes well, you have this wonderful, warm, fuzzy feeling. Making an offer is not like that. Making an offer is even more of a stretch because there's the chance that no one will say yes. The chance that nobody puts their hand up to take a form. And what will that mean about me? You know, and we make it about ourselves. But I think that once you've done it once, twice, it becomes standard. You know, it just becomes the normal thing. And whether people put their hand up or they don't, it's kind of, it doesn't affect you because you know you came here to deliver, you delivered. You gave people your hand to say, will you walk this journey with me? Those who are ready will come. Those who are not, you pray for them. And hopefully next time they will realize they missed out. And they say, oh, the offer that you made. It's like, oh, you mean the one that's gone up by 100%? Yes.
Absolutely. It is, you know, it's like a hidden secret for people and they just don't know. And, you know, it's like the name of the old school way. And then you come up with the new school and folks like, oh, you know, I'm a little nervous about that. And then I always think, well, you're going to get left behind. And speaking is not something we do. It's just who we are. It is just, you know, that you've been called to share your story. And let me make sure I clarify. Naomi, give me just a second. I want to clarify what I mean by sharing your story. Ladies, this is not just you going and tell, you know, the testimonial of what you went through and all of that, but it is in such a way that it not just inspires an audience, it empowers them to move and take action. And that is something that is a learned, let me say again, learned trait. It's not something, oh, I'm just going to go do this. It's not, you just don't go and do that because the natural being of who we are as human beings. And then as business people, we want more clients. Of course, we want, you know, to get the revenue and all of that. But if you don't get this special training, not even a secret, because it's not a secret anymore. It's out. Just most people don't opt in to learn more about how to dominate the market in which they stand in. And so for you, as you help other women write their truth and share their story in forms of a book and things like that, what is the biggest thing, or what is the number one thing you would tell those women about learning the secrets, or I would say the trade secrets to doing that?
I really think that, you know, I have been investing in coaching now for a good number of years, and I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on coaching. And every single, as you guys would say, dime and dollar, you know, has been an investment in me and in my skill set and in my level of understanding, of strategy, of confidence, mindset, everything, right? And so for me, when I you know, got to know you and I saw your work and everything, it was a no-brainer for me, because if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this with somebody who is not just teaching it, but is getting the results, because you know how it is. Sometimes people teach things that they're not doing. We know this. It's very, very common in the
go
online.
Look on Instagram. Go on online, Facebook and Instagram.
It's so common in the online space. And so, you know, for me, having you as my coach and my mentor, I'm always boasting about you on social media, as you know. But, you know, having you as my coach and mentor, for me, it's like, who better to learn from? You know, and not only that, it's like you are doing it yourself. You're getting the results yourself, but you're teaching. Not everyone can say that, because a lot of the big speakers out there are not teaching. From what I see, I see a couple here and there, but if they do teach speaking, it's more the skill of how to deliver your story.
That's it.
Not the strategy behind it, not the actual business of speaking, which is, you know, the whole point of the program is building your speaking empire. So the focus of the program is not on your delivery and your emotion and your passion, etc. It really is, if you want to tell an effective story, firstly, we learned that at the boot camp, which was gold. So we learn how to not basically just waffle on about our personal trials and tribulations for half an hour, but be so much more strategic, because you're not literally there to just tell about your life and people say, oh, wow. Because you know what I think, Dr. Sonia, what I've seen in my business is that inspiration is cheap.
You better say that one more time. Say that one more time.
I can scroll Instagram and get the same dopamine hit.
Yeah.
Inspiration is like a shot of dopamine. It feels good in the moment,
Yeah.
but it very rarely translates to action. So for me, I'm much more interested in encouraging people to take action and implement the strategy that they're being taught, because I was able to follow your program. It's not like crazy amount of work, but it can be a stretch for people. But if you implement everything, week 1, do what she says. Week 2, do what she said. Week 3, yes, ma'am. By the end of it, you will have all the pieces that you need to have. So I know I'm blessed. I feel so grateful that throughout all my coaching programs, there's one thing people say about me, and that is I implement.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not here just to like listen and have a good time and make friends and stuff like that. I'm here to implement, because if I invested my time, my money, my energy, I want to see the results at the end.
Absolutely. And you know what's so funny about, not funny, but what is so, you know, profound about it, that some people get started like, okay, I'm excited. I always hear, I'm excited and nervous. And it's always like, yeah, you should be. You should be excited and nervous, because now your brain is about to be stretched to a place where your passion really wants to take you. And you just can't have that passion that's there. And I always ask the question of, how long have you had this dream about you doing X, Y, and Z? Oh, I've had it all my life. And you mean to tell me you haven't acted upon it? Well, I didn't know how. And I did. Well, you have no excuses anymore. This is a no-brainer going into the game, because the simple fact that we need more female speakers. And not just you going, as you alluded to, Naima, just sharing your story and, you know, 30, 40 minutes or what have you. But now having a strategic plan, whether you're on a platform for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20, 45 minutes, and killing the game and letting people know, oh, she means business.
Yeah, definitely.
Hands down. So what would you share with a young lady or someone that's watching that's on the fence about really becoming, I would say, a profitable speaker? What would you say to her?
Get off the fence, maybe. It really is a case of just get off the fence, take action, implement. You will get the outcome. That's it's a very simple equation, you know. And you know, will you make all $10, $20, $50,000 within 1 month? No one's guaranteeing that. But will you have the tools to actually start being a profitable speaker? 100%. So if you know this is what you want to do and you're ready to do the work, then don't waste any time. Sign up, get the jewels, get the gold, and start doing it. Because I know for myself, and we shared this before, I'm one of like a handful of well-known speakers within the Muslim speaking circuit. And I know that every one of them is a coach. They all have coaching and consulting programs. They never do what you taught us to do. I have never seen them do what you taught us to do. At the most, they will sell a book. But that's it. And again, it goes back to this thing of inspiration being cheap, because people come, you know, they come and they hear like maybe 10, 15, 50 women talking, selling their stories and everything. All the stories are starting to blur together now because you can't. And it's great in the moment. But if you come out of that event not having actually taken action and said, I want to work with you, I want to know more about this, call me and let's talk about this, I fear that you're not going to see any results. And it was an enjoyable weekend, but will it have a lasting change, a lasting impact on your life? I seriously doubt it. If you didn't take action while you were in that moment of belief and positive hope and like, wow, 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 and nobody put their hand out and said, if you want this, I can help you, and you took it. Results.
It's a game changer. And I know, Naima, for 2020, and I know whoever's watching this and they're watching it for years, 2020 is going to be a game changer for some women. And now hear me when I say this is we didn't script this, we didn't practice. We were like, hey, let's just have a conversation. 2020 is going to be such a game changer for some women that are out there that are really sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you're tired of going to events and hearing other speakers. And please forgive me, they're just sharing their story or what have you. And you know that should be you on stage. You just don't know how to get out there. And especially if you're a coach and you're looking for your clients, it should not be a month that you're going, oh my gosh, I need some clients this month. I'm waiting on referrals. Really? What are we in, like 1990?
I
This is not
know.
about referrals anymore. This is about us really getting into she means business and creating a business. This is not a hobby. I think people know at this moment, I am so serious about this. I do this in my sleep. And I didn't wake up one day. It's like, yeah, I'm going to create a program, Women Speak and Grow Rich. It was not a thought. It was a thought before Think and Grow Rich came along and I was on the tour, but it was more, I wanted to help women who lack confidence and guidance on really their next level business, and they considered it a hobby. There are so many women like yourselves, and I'm so grateful that I get the opportunity to coach you, not even just that, but, into the future of the things. And it is really going to be a market where women are dominating. I know there are a lot of male speakers out there. We see them all the time. They teach differently. They teach you certain things, but as a female and as a woman, it's different for us. I truly believe that. I don't care what anybody says, but we're able to reach nations. And for you, ma'am, it is going to be the things you have not ever heard or seen, that women are coming, and then they're not afraid, or they're not this shallow about what you wear. They're more concerned of, can you help me? That's all I want to know. Tell me what you got. Share with me what you're going to do. And what are my end results? That's what they want to know. They just want to know, and they want to see you do it. So what's so important about this? I love the fact that this is not theory. These are the things that you and I do, and we do it very well. And it's so amazing to do it very well. I was like, I saw those. We're not going to cheer up. We do it very well. And so I thank you for the opportunity to, that you said yes to this journey. And it wasn't about, and I want you to share one last thing before we get off. I really said in the upcoming year, I'm going to have a conversation about women and money. And you and I had this conversation about women enrolling in your program, and we always, 9 times out of 10, make it about the dollar bill. Well, I don't have, and I can't get. Share your thoughts on possibly where you were when you first made your investment, not even just with me, because you were investing before. So it was a no-brainer when I brought, okay, hey, this is what you're going to do. These are the results. But share with us about the thoughts behind the value of money and what it is supposed to be used for, and how women should especially start investing in their next level.
I'm going to share something with you. I said to myself, this is a couple of weeks ago. I said, okay, I had an income goal for the end of the year. And I said, you know what? I've been working really hard this year. I think I'm going to buy myself something really special. And I'm going to spend a lot of money on it. Yeah, because I deserve it. I'm worth it. Yes, it's all good.
Absolutely.
And after a couple of conversations, I realized that in order for me to get to my next level, I'm going to have to invest again. So it was immediately clear to me, do I want to invest in my next level? Or do I want that watch or that ring or that bag, whatever it was?
And shoes, don't forget the shoes.
Oh, shoes, yes.
Oh, and the car.
All of those material things, they make us feel good. But again, dopamine hit. It's temporary. And as we know, with so many of them, they start to devalue as soon as you've bought them. There is no intrinsic value. It's just what it says, what you think it says about you. Yeah. I would rather be driving my whatever Vauxhall that I'm driving now and know that I have world-class support and world-class coaches, because I know that if I can continue to invest from a place of abundance, and I'm not saying like I've got it all like that, but from a place of abundance with faith, knowing that it's coming back, and knowing that whatever I have in here, no one can take away. And whatever I invest in myself, in my mindset, in my knowledge, in my skills, no one can take away. And that is what is going to take me to my 6 figures. That is when it could take me to the stage where I'm buying my Range Rover, which is the car that I actually want to drive. You know what I'm saying? So if I have a choice right now between investing in my next level and buying something amazing, I'm investing. And I think even in our community, whether we're talking about the Black community, the Muslim community, whatever, this idea of women investing, and investing in themselves is relatively new. As a people, we like to spend. If we have it, we want to spend because it makes us feel good, and it makes people look at us differently. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the approval. We're looking for I got it. We're looking for that. But that's not wealth. And that's not going to build a foundation for you, for your
Absolutely.
family, for the next generations. Because I am going to quote a certain Dr. Sonia, who said, if you didn't come from a wealthy family, then let a wealthy family come from you. And that wealth will never, ever come from spending on consumer goods, from spending on things that make us feel good, instead of spending on the mentoring, the knowledge, the coaching, the program, whatever it is that's going to take you to your next level. Because when you've done that investment, you will see the dividends. You're going to see that investment coming back to you. And so you get the best of both. You get the knowledge, you get the skills, you get the mindset, you get the peer group, as well as the means now to be able to buy. And it doesn't, it doesn't take away from your wealth at all, because you're just building for the future. And I think I think I've shared that with my children, because they say like, oh, mommy, like, how much money do you have in the bank? I said, look, I made 100K this year, but I reinvested everything. Reinvested everything in taking us to the next level. So
for sure.
We're not making just 100K. We're going to make multiples of that.
And make that in a month, matter of fact.
In a month. Thank you very much. And then at that stage, I will be able to pay myself that salary. We will be able to invest in property. We will be able to invest in the children's future. So I think they got that message. And I think really for us as women, we have means. We have means. It's like a lady I had on the phone with me who said that she didn't have anything. I said, do you have gold? Said, yes, I have gold. I said, then you have the means to achieve your dream. Absolutely. So if you have got the diamonds or you've got the this, I just think, well, would I rather have a diamond ring, or would I rather have a career that is going to impact literally millions of people, which is what I set myself, my goal for the next decade is to impact 1 million lives through my speaking, through my writing, through my coaching. And I'd rather have that.
Absolutely. So Naima, thank you so much for sharing your story, your truth with us, and really stepping outside of the comfort zone and stepping outside your box and really being even the more influential, more impactful, so you can bring in, of course, that income. And for all of you that are watching out there, this is amazing. I mean, I sit back, I love what I do. It doesn't seem like a job. It doesn't seem like a business. It feels so natural because I realize what my calling, not just my calling, what my gift is. And this is to serve other women to their very next level. So if you're out there, you're supposed to be doing more and you just don't know how to get there, let's have a conversation about what's next for you. Because you cannot, if you answer this question just like this, I cannot stand to be exactly where I am 12 months from now in my business, in my life, period. And I know there's more. It's time to have that conversation. I thank you all from the bottom of my heart for being here and listening to this interview with one of the most amazing women that I have ever met. And so for all of you, who's next? Love you all. Have a great day. And we'll see each other soon. And again, as Naima said, if you didn't come from a wealthy family, let a wealthy family come from you. And the last part of that, it's not just about the money. That's going to happen. But it's the woman you become along the way that matters. Have a great day, and we'll see you at the top.